Change the Equation just came out recently with a vital signs report called The Lost Opportunity. And that report kind of centered on the idea that after-school programming, only 1 out of 5 households in the country has access to or takes advantage of STEM after-school programming. So I wondered if you might share some perspectives on how you've seen the sort of informal education programs adapting to meet sort of these workforce trends and trends in the formal system of education. But what do we need to do that's not already going on?
Right. Well, I think that some of the things that you just talked about in the whole panel and going back to our keynotes this morning really speak about is this whole ecology needed to bring around children and young people being at the center of learning. And in that ecology, after school and out of school time experiences, school day experiences, STEM-rich institutions, universities, the opportunities to work with science centers, businesses, and home are all part of that. So after school sees a place that they connect many of those areas and can really make a difference. When we think about it, 20% of a child's time is spent in formal education, 80% outside. So really capturing and maximizing and utilizing and leveraging that time out of school is really something that we need to focus in on, and that's what after school is looked at. We talk about the 3 areas of keeping kids safe, inspiring learning, and helping working families. And STEM is just such a great match in the whole area of inspiring learning. And if you want to look at it over a long period of time, after school has been involved in it. You look at partners like 4-H that has been doing STEM for years, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. But what we find different now, and I think that was the question, is there's much more intentionality on the quality and the connection and the deepness. So it's not just a lesson picked out and one at a time. It's how do you look at that continuum being a major difference in the approach that's being taken now. The other is that we see the more, what would you call the average out-of-school time program saying, we want to be part of the STEM work. We see that it's really a key. But when we did a survey here in Pennsylvania, we saw 40% of the after-school educators felt uncomfortable delivering STEM. So with that being an issue, how do you make that connect? What do you do? Well, some of the things that we're doing in some great work that's being funded by the Noyce Foundation and the Heinz Endowments is looking at professional development and seeing how can you have individuals become more comfortable, more competent, and more confident. Now that can be done in a variety of ways, but we've partnered with some great curriculum leaders and professional development across the state. And I guess another piece that we've seen is that there is so much out there in curriculum. And we really feel that in terms of moving forward, that instead of trying to invent new curriculum, instead look at what is available right now that can be utilized and use the professional development and the community of learners that can be developed around curriculum to really move forward the work. So I'd say that's a difference in the work that we're doing now. Another is that this intensity in spending, the research says that, if you want to look at this continuum, and that's what I think after school really has an opportunity to do, we have more time to spend in smaller groups that you don't have during the formal education day. So building upon 21st century skills, persistence over a period of time with the project one can look at. Project-based learning being really a core of the work that one is doing in after school is another great resource. The other is that when you look nationally, and I have to say here in Pennsylvania, 26% of our young people are involved in after school. Too small a number. We need to grow that. We need to have the policies and the work to do this. But of those young people that are involved, we know that there's an inequity in those young people that are being involved in the STEM careers, both women, African Americans, and Hispanics. We find in after-school programs that that's higher in terms of then the population. So here is a place, if one is going to make an impact in equity, that one can make those changes. So I think those are some of the keys. Now, some of the things that we need to really look at for the future, I think, are really continuing the work on professional development. And a key thing that has come back to me today and over our work over the last 18 months on this project is the need for joint training between formal and informal educators and joint planning so that there is linkages between the school day and after school, and linking also to the university level so that the continuum is occurring. Using, as I said, vetted curriculum, and then I'd say shared outcomes. One of the things that our field need to really look at is defining our youth outcomes. This has just been done by the Afterschool Alliance with the national team. So we have what is it you can expect to happen in out-of-school time in its engagement. And then I think finally that issue of consistency of programming and the continuum of programming, that there's linkages between each level, and that we look at curriculum and we look at programs designed to that. Finally, I just have to do one plug. We are doing a statewide survey right now on after school and STEM, and would love to have any of you that are either linked to doing after school with programs, either in your school and connected to it, or CBOs, to respond to that, because then we can have better data to give back to you to say, what is the field saying? What do we need to do? How can we really link partnerships?
And how do people find the survey?
They can go to our website, and it will be up to you to see PSAYDN, Poseidon.org, and my name in the program is there, so if you just go to Poseidon.org, that's where you can go to the survey, and we want to really engage you in that opportunity and make sure that we're really capturing what's happening. We're also very excited. We have a VISTA coming on that is going to be doing a mapping opportunity to look at after-school programs throughout the state and who are the STEM-rich institutions that would like to partner with them. And then looking at 5, where we're going to do a pilot and look at what are best practices, how do we bring that, and then share it with the field.